Alright, since we now have all the readings calibrated, we're just going to double check and go back to every single one of them to make sure we're within specs. Once we wrap this up, then we can proceed to the alarm calibration. So we're reading our 21% concentration, and as you can notice, our oxygen analyzer is going to settle. Then we're going to read our 30, 60, 90, and 100, and that will do it. This is, the necessary reference for you to have a good calibration on your blender. Oxygen analyzer is, we're going to set up a 21 something once settle. We're going to go to the 30. When you go up, the reading is a lot faster for the oxygen analyzer to catch it. So our 30 is looking pretty good. So we are within specs, so we can go ahead and move our knob and dial up to 60%. Right there, our 60% is looking really beautiful. We're at 60.2 so far. When you notice the oxygen analyzer going back and forth on a longer pace on something, it means it's finishing up to settle. So that's a good thing to show. We're gonna go and read our 90% and 100% just to wrap this up. So we dial to 90%, and at the end we're just gonna dial to 100%, and we can say that our calibration is done, finished, and we can proceed to the alarm calibration. 9% is looking really, really good. We're right on the dot, so you can feel happy about this calibration. 90 point something. So we're going to dial to go to 100. Oxygen analyzer is moving kind of fast, which is good for us. We need to be between 97 and 103, and we're right there. So this is our last reading. We now can say that we succeed on a oxygen blender calibration, and we can proceed to do our alarm calibration. All right, here we go. Now that we finished the calibration, we're going to proceed to do the final part of this procedure, and we're going to calibrate the alarm. In this case, we need to be on a 60% concentration of oxygen. We need to have 50 psi on both regulators, and what we're going to do is we're going to lower one end down to 30 psi to create a 20 psi difference between the two lines, and that should make the alarm go off. The way to calibrate it properly is on either side. You can notice that we have these calibration screws for the alarm. So we have one on the oxygen side, and we have one on the medical side, medical air side. So by calibrating these two screws, moving it in and out, we are going to have the proper calibration whenever we have a difference of 20 psi to make the alarm go off. And we're showing that over here. This one is fully calibrated, so we're just going to show that. If we reduce our pressure down to 30 psi and lower, the alarm starts going off. So that's what we need to have. That's on the oxygen side, and we need to repeat that also on the air side. So we'll lower our pressure down to 30 or lower, and the alarm goes off. So we reestablish the pressure down to 50. So whenever you have either not enough or too much, shows by controlling these screws in and out, you pretty much get the right calibration on the alarm once it's hooked up. Once you finish with the alarm calibration, then you can proceed to seal the screws and make sure that they don't move afterwards. So you can use just a normal, white silicone to seal it. So you pour a little bit on it. You can use a blade like this, or any tool that you feel comfortable with. You kind of help it to have a nice seal in there, like that. You can use Q-tips just like this to clean all around it, make it look nice. You let it dry for a couple minutes and you're good to go. You do the same thing on the other side. Let it dry for a couple minutes and you're good to go. Your blender is fully calibrated and it's ready to use. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I was able to help you out and give you a couple of tricks to make your life easier. So this is it. Thanks a lot.